Oh, Wilbur here. I won a Spinnaker watch in a charity auction. It's the Mainsail. Mainsail. That's hard to say for some reason. Anyway, let's take a look at it. Spinnaker is a microbrand. It's owned by the UK-based Dartmouth Brands. They have several different watch companies under them. I'll link in the description below so you can take a look at what they've got. The other brands they own are AV8, Ballast, Earnshaw, Fjord, and some others. Looks like most of their manufacturing and assembly is done in China, and they seem to be relatively new. It looked like it was incorporated in 2013. So let's take a look at the watch. This is the Spinnaker Mainsail watch, the SP5044-2. The 2 refers to the color. It's 14.3 millimeters tall, which is a little taller than my gold standard of tallness, if that's a word, which is the my wonderful Omega Seamaster. The Omega Seamaster is 12 millimeters, and that's about as comfortable as you can get. You can get thinner watches, of course, but that's thin enough in my book. The diameter on this beast is 46.4 millimeters. It's actually much bigger than the normal watch that I would choose, but the lug distance is 53.6 lug to lug, and it's got screwed pins. Look at that. Wonderful. The band is 22 millimeters, and the movement is the Seiko NH35A with a display back and a 41-hour power reserve. Let's get a look at this. That looks upside down, doesn't it? It says Spinnaker on it. It's got the mainsail. The Spinnaker is a sail, by the way. A type of sail. Yeah, it's not like the most gorgeous movement in the world, but you really can't beat the quality for this price. It's actually become one of my absolute favorite, not too expensive movements in a watch. It's 21,600 vibrations per hour. The automatic wind is bidirectional, and it's the accuracy is not stellar. It gets about I lose about 15 seconds a day, which is a little bit annoying. It's not super bad for me, but I would really like to see it a little better. Probably if you went to get it regulated, you could do much better. But anyway, this is a little tall, and it's rather heavy. It's quite heavy for the it's a big watch, no doubt about it. Normally, I would think this would be way too big for my taste, but somehow this wears smaller than you would think. I find it to be pretty comfortable to wear on my 7.5-inch wrist. If it was just a little shorter, I think I'd totally be excited about it. The Loom is pretty useless. Normally I would find that extremely annoying, but it doesn't really bother me on this particular watch. You see, I really wear this watch as a dress watch, more of a fashion accessory than a tool watch, so I don't really miss the glow. None of my actual proper dress watches have Loom on them, so it seems fair to give the Spinnaker a break here. The Porthole Design, the wavy dial face, the blue and pearl color scheme are on point, I think. Although it doesn't really look anything like them, it has the similar I need to be on my yacht flavor that the Coram Admiral's Cup has, but for a very small fraction of the price. This blue cable rope looking stuff, I assume is some sort of braided wire or twisted wire anodized to be blue. It's kind of interesting. It really messes with your eyes when you look at it. It's hard to focus on it, and it has a kind of depth to it, and I find that actually pretty entertaining. I really like that feature. A very cool detail. This model came in 3 colors, the blue, the black, and brown. I only like the blue one myself. This guy has 100-meter water resistance and a domed mineral crystal with, I think, AR coating. The band is quite nice. It feels surprisingly good quality for the price level of this beast. Pretty comfortable, and it breaks in well. One of the real joys of this watch, besides its looks, is this big, well-designed screw-down crown. I find this particular movement is so easy to wind and to set. Just so quick. It winds nicely, has a quick date set, of course. And since I don't have a watch winder, well, actually I do, but I got no place to plug it in that's handy. So I have to wind my watches pretty much every time I wear them, mostly because I've got some really nice watches and I always am switching back and forth. So unless they had an 8-day power reserve, which nobody has, I have to wind them. But I find this one super easy to use and just really a joy. Much, much better than many of my watches, than most of my watches actually, and a whole heck of a lot better than this annoying little nubbin on my Lion Shark. So the negatives on this, there are really 4. The weight is quite heavy, but since it fits well on the wrist and isn't too tall, that's not a real big deal to me on this one. The underwhelming loom is sad, but not too sad, as discussed before. And there is this very cool detail of the applied markers and the mainsail. The part that isn't metal is loomed behind it. So that's pretty cool. When it does glow, it looks very cool. The dial face looks a bit like molded plastic, and probably is. I don't really notice it unless I'm looking up close. The applied markers and the blue shiny sail kind of make up for it. If losing 15 seconds a day isn't great, I expect a little better accuracy from this particular movement and a watch, at any price really. But as I treat this as a proto dress watch, so it doesn't really chap my hide too much. I mean, some of my dress watches don't even have a second hand, so there you are. This is it's quite a watch for, I think $270 was the list price last time I checked. This is 2018. I'd say if this style appeals to you and you like your watches on the large side, I'd say definitely get one of these. This is an enjoyable watch and with a good quality Japanese movement, and I just don't see how you could go too far wrong with that. this watch is going to stay in my collection, I think, for quite a while. I really enjoy it. It's just sort of a fashion choice. It's a lark. It's fun with the gaps and stuff in the around the dial and all of that. It will definitely collect schmutz, and dirt, and so you would never want to wear it in any kind of a taxing situation. But to wear it around to have fun and to just dress up and kind of get that living on a yacht feel, this watch works for me. So I think I'm going to be keeping it for a while. Wilbur, out.